Hi everyone, welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I am so glad to be here with you right now. I have not been able to record for about 4 days. And the long and the short of it is I had a bunch of issues, for those that have been following me for a while, with storage and trying to, rob Peter to pay Paul and get rid of apps and all the stuff you had to do. That's been going on for months. Done, got a new phone, lots of room, had to wait for it to come. I'm just really excited. So hopefully this will record well. And even if it doesn't, I'll do it again until it does. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings for today. Today is March 28th, 2021. We have the full moon in Libra today. So, wow, that's a very powerful and very, very directive energy towards relationships. I mean, Libra's all about relationships, all types of relationships, love, Venus, ruled Venus, Venus it's our heart. It's our truest, deepest natures and wants and desires, and it's beauty and it's magic and it's all possible, So, and then today's featured sign is I pick up where I left off, which is actually kind of perfect because we have 4 more days left in March and there's 4 more signs. So today we're on the beautiful, fiery, ambitious, and motivated, optimistic sign of Sagittarius. You know I love you, Sagittarians. Always have, always will. And what's really great, Sagittarius, is we have and are in the season of Aries. That is your fellow fire, boy. You've got this beautiful energy from within you, and then you have it from the planets working in your favor. Newness, spring had started with the, evolution of the new year, as it were, in astrology on the 20th, and then the Aries season started. It's always the first sign. It's always the beginning of a new year as far as, like I said, astrology is concerned. So a lot of motivation, a lot of spirited, a lot of action, a lot of new beginnings, endings, which, full moons like today's can culminate for the better, right? The endings have to happen for the beginnings to start. So let me pick your spiritly guided, highlighted connection for you today, Sagittarius. I looked and saw the last one for the beginning of March. We're on mid-month reading once again. Was with Aquarius. So if it's the same, I won't do. It fell beyond it, but it literally is going to Aquarius again. I'm not going to do the same highlighted for you this time. I want a little more variety. But the reality is that I do 3 major category extra messages for the highlighted. But I'm reading for all Sagittarians and every one of your connections and your relationships, because you have a lot. And so I've added a rune that I'm going to do, and I'll finish with the oracle messages once again for all Sagittarians in every single relationship, not just the highlighted, so that everybody gets something hopefully out of the readings that I do for you. We'll try one more time. There you go with Leo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to double check. No, Leo is with Aries. So it's just this fire thing going on. It's a real lot of this powerful, courageous, self-confident, lucky. Sagittarius, you have Jupiter as your ruling planet. And it happens to be in Aquarius all this year because it goes into each sign every 12 years, right? So Aquarius is extremely complementary to you. It's one of those trines, they call it in astrology, where it works really well with your energy and it's working for you, not against you, which is beautiful because sometimes it's never against you. I shouldn't really say that. But it's one of those things where it just feels more naturally a positive, like it's definitely, you've got this support you need, okay? Now, in addition to that, Sagittarius, you are a mutable sign, which means you're extremely adaptable. You love adventure. You love doing all sorts of things. You are very interested in higher learning. And when it comes to Sagittarians, it's all about truth. Seeking the truth. They're very, very authentic and very straightforward. A lot of times, maybe not necessarily PC, not intentionally. It's just they're real. They don't remember how to, put on the airs and all that sort of thing. For the most part, there's always exceptions, of course. But we're talking about the sun sign, which is the personality traits, the ego, things that drive us, things that we want to do in our life, our desires, our likes, our energy behind what we do, and personality traits. So these are general, but this is very much a part of who, Sagittarius is, just this optimistic, I'm going to make it happen. I'm fiery and I'm very, very spirited. I have a temperament, You know, I may be impatient, like fire signs tend to be, but they stand strong for what they believe in and everything. And you're actually very capable of listening to other people's ideas, and, you know, you're flexible, you're independent, you love travel, you love the world, you love being involved in everything foreign and, you know, domestic, it doesn't matter. You know, you're just open-hearted to all that sort of thing. And then you have this arrow, you're half man and half horse. So that's part of that physical thing with you. You have to have this, you feel like it's essential and mandatory that you do some form of exercise in some capacity. And most Sagittarians I know do devote some of their time to that, just to release the natural way that you should, any built up, you know, stresses that come into life, which has been huge for many of us, not just last year, also this year. Working through them all though, you know, this is a moon that, once again, Sagittarius, is about, you know, your feelings and your emotions, because you have them just like anybody. You tend to be the sign that I always equate with friendships first. You love that as a foundation. Friendships tend to last and last longer than the, you know, what am I trying to say, when you have a crush on somebody, or, you know, the physical aspects, and you're just kind of in lust. Lust is the word. Thank you, Spirit. So yeah, you can appreciate that. But you also know that when you want that one and only, or the good friends in your life and the associates and the people you work with and such, it has to be genuine. And it's really about that right now. It's about really focusing on your relationships on all levels, and really focusing on the things that you really want to continue to grow and to, you know, reconcile, or certainly have a balance in. Interestingly enough, we've got the Libra or the scales, right? And they're always striving for balance. And when they're in balance, they're their absolute best on all levels. But they also want to be very fair, and they want to be just, and they want to be compromised. They will compromise a lot. Libras do. They understand your point of view, you know, and they are willing to look at all sides of circumstances. They're very much a mind sign, because, you know, air rules the mind. So it's a masculine sign with the, you know, the beautiful balance of the Venetian Venus ruled aspect of Libra and the moon today. So I feel like there's a lot of romantic things happening on a beautiful, beautiful note, and a beautiful feel that's, you know, expanding the heart and expanding the opportunity to grow together. And when you point your arrow, which is another symbolism of the Sagittarian, you point it to whatever, it could be the Cupid arrow, and that person you have an interest in, you know, it's like, bam, that's it. And you accomplish it. And it's usually like up there, because you think big, and you think, you know, like you will master and get to whatever desire or interest or, you know, what do they say, intention that you have. So I just feel really powerful, beautiful energy in that regard. And then you have Leo as your highlighted. So you have basically everything I said that's with you, Sagittarius, with that fire, with the courage, with the confidence, with the definite soul, big heart, passion that Leo certainly carries with them. Leos are leaders, boy. They like to be in charge. They like to lead the way, and they do it with their heart. They do it for the best of intentions. They are fixed sign versus your mutable aspect, Sagittarius. So they're not necessarily going to be as willing to change their opinion or their idea about something if they have their mind set on something. But you know what? With your beautiful energy that's pretty light a lot of times, you work through things. You just do. And you really like having a good time. You'd much rather laugh than argue or be right in a lot of circumstances. So the two of you can be just a powerhouse of a couple. And also, I will say that Leos are incredibly creative and talented. This is very attractive to you, Sagittarius, because you're interested in so many things, and, you know, traveling together is something I'm sure that happens. Leos are extravagant, and they're no holds barred, you know, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful, harmonious, kind of beautifully well set up energy for the two of you. And so, yeah, let's just read the messages, because I'm feeling beautiful about this. I feel beautiful to be here, like I said again. And with this beautiful, harmonious, and balance-seeking full moon, I just feel like some really wonderful things are going to happen. I feel like there's going to be some commitments made that maybe haven't been. I feel like there's going to be some once again, some desire to really compromise and work with each other and reach new heights is the words that are coming to mind. So I'm using the beautiful Tarot, Gilded Tarot deck for the rest of the month, which is the next 4 days. And then I'll bring out a new deck, of course, the beginning of April. Wow, this Thursday. It's going to be a quarter of the way through the year. And I can honestly say there's been so much that's happened. It feels like it to me. But we have so much left to do and so much more to have happen that's beautiful and positive and forward moving, like I said. So let us just let you know the first category is always the overall energy that brought you to this reading. And I always recommend, if you haven't, and if you're new, welcome to my channel, of course. I love having anybody stop in and hopefully return. Just feel free to go and push that subscribe and the like if you feel inclined and it feels like something you're resonating with on my channel, because then you can look back at all of my videos, but certainly the reference of the beginning of the month reading for the Sagittarius, right? It may be a different highlighted, but all the messages, like I said, have something to say to you. And like some will resonate right away, some not at all, some take a few days. But something to kind of use and say, oh, okay, that's similar. And it's still working on this storyline, if you will, which is what I think Tarot really is. They're just stories for us to kind of piece together with people and circumstances and the major arcana that are really important messages Spirit wants us to know about. So the first overall energy for the two of you is the King of Wands. Wow. You're so much in your element right now. This is fire. This is the maturity and the, I would say, mastering of pretty much your life. You know, you got this. And guess what's in the background? The full moon. Just bringing it to the reality. Just shining a light on your life. Sitting there and thinking, yep, I can do, I can be, I can will, I can love to the most or the least of my desires, to whatever I choose to manifest. This is how you sit. This is feeling empowered. This is feeling centered and just very, very, very optimistic about what's happening. You're both on the same page in so many ways that this makes perfect sense that I would pull the King of Wands, which is the fire. So it's definitely Sagittarius, Leo, like the highlighted I'm reading for, or it can be Aries. And we're in Aries season, and we will be through April 19th. So it's strong, and it's very, very much about opening up, entertaining our desires and our talents, because we all have so much to offer, you know, and it's really kind of bringing that to the forefront. And then there's the Venus love aspect. So love is very prominent and fiery and passionate. And I think intimacy is probably at its all-time high right now, to be honest. You don't have to share that, but you can if you want. And then I always respond to comments, just so you know. The second category is always the possible blessings or obstacles. And, you know, I mean, obstacles can be opportunities. It's really true. I don't always see them that way the moment they're happening. But lately I've had a fair amount of obstacles, and I'm working through them all. I don't know. It's almost like a big year of retrograde for me. We started the year, well, certainly all of February. And we'll be heading into another one, you know, at the end of May. I don't know. It's just reviewing and recognizing that we can, I shouldn't say can't. We can try to sidestep, we can try to procrastinate, which is kind of a common denominator under the influence of Aries. A lot of times it is, but it could be for the smallest of things. So it's about not allowing ourselves to do that and to just face it head on and move through it and know that it's all being divinely guided as always. So let's see what your possible blessings or obstacles are. Well, you have the Two of Wands. There's the fire again. There's the partnership. There's the ideas that you have very clear in your mind. And yes, obstacles come along the way, right? But knowing that in your vision, your tunnel vision, your intention, as I said, like the arrow of you, Sagittarius, you're not going to let go. You're not going to give up. And you're not going to believe that because there are forks in the road, like you can kind of see in this beautiful picture, it doesn't stop it. It just makes you realize it's not always going to be done exactly as you may have planned or envisioned. And at this point, even for the youngest of people I read for, it's becoming so evident that that is really something to always keep in mind, retrograde or not, right? The only planet now, they're all forward. And I guess at the end of this month is when Pluto turns retrograde. We'll talk about that later. Whether there's retrogrades or not, there's still going to be things that we have to deal with, you know, breakdowns, issues that come along like for everybody. And sometimes it feels like it's just you, right? Or they're all happening at once. Well, having just said that, which is what's happening in my life, I think, okay, might as well just get it all done. Just get it out of the way and it's done. Till the next time. You feeling powerful though? There's a definite feeling of partnership, boy, in some level. I don't know what, romantic or otherwise. You're very keen on that right now. There's something very important, like a new venture, and it would be such good energy for that, especially through the 15th of April. So let this happen for you. Believe and forcefully just whatever you have to do. Because you've got the, you know, the wind of change with you. You've got the power and the dynamics of the fire energy, which is all about making it happen. And the motivation, it's all right there for you. So I don't really see that as an obstacle unless you're just still waiting. And, you know, that's just what you have to do a lot of times. So I feel like that's a positive and it's right in line with the fire. You're still in that fiery energy. So the final category is always the finances. Very important also in energy, like everything. And what's happening right now for the two of you, perhaps individually, or, you know, connecting together on some project, a new home, and a vacation, for heaven's sakes. It's time to have some fun too, okay? Easter's coming up. There's all sorts of beautiful things. Things are opening up in life. And you have justice. Oh gosh, I love justice. And that's Libra. That's the full moon we're dealing with. It's making things justified. It's the balance, and what I was going to say a lot earlier, but I do this a lot. I get going and channeling comes through, and you have Sagittarius is the card in Tarot as Temperance. That's also balance, but it's more than just like the scales or, you know, like a court case that's going to come through and going to be in your favor, or a decision that you need to make, or something you're feeling good about. It's going to be fair and it'll be just. The Temperance is that, but it's more than that. It's within, as above, so below. It's the ability to change, the alchemy of things, you know, the literal, just changing, you know, shape-shifting, as they say. It's just the magnificence and the ability that we all have as spirits in these bodies to do this and to focus on that, maybe more than you have before. It's a lot of beautiful energy for that as well. So something regarding money is going to be justified. If you have a loan you're concerning or yourself with or considering, it seems as though even if it has a few snags, it's coming. I mean, stimulus is coming. There's a lot of things that are finally making their way that have been worked on for a while. We all know this, you know. I won't go into detail, don't need to. I'm just saying this is a beautiful major arcana and how perfect for the full moon. So the full moon's effects can be 2 weeks or longer. And we only get one full moon in our sign and one new moon. And so this is the one full moon for Libra. So whatever happening for Libras or any air signs, as well as all of us, will affect you between now and the new moon. So that's a good 6 months. And my gosh, if it's justice, then it's good, you know? So it'll be worth the wait, I guess I could say. And if it's not about money, it's about how you're feeling in your relationship, which is, once again, essential and a priority for Libra. So it keeps coming back to relationships of all kinds. And I know if you're in one, I think you're feeling pretty good and you're out and you're doing stuff and you're planning that vacation. And you're going to put that money aside for that. Because money's fine. You're feeling okay. You know, you may have had to spend some and this and that, but you've been sensible and smart and, you know, managing your money well, excuse me. tripping over my words. So, wow, I just have to say, with the evidence of this fire and this absolute straightforward, I'm going to make things work energy, which is what you're about, Sagittarius, including your highlighted Leo companion. And then just focusing on that dream, that intention to work together, to make it happen, to find that balance, to bring it into fruition, you know, and the help needed or the finances needed, or you're feeling comfortable with your body, getting advice, you know, justice is about hearing the right things you need to hear and how to take care of a situation you might be dealing with on a physical level, in addition to, of course, your relationships. Things are fair and they're balanced and they're very Libra-like right now, which is absolutely perfect with this full moon. So I love that reading. And I want to thank Spirit for bringing that forth for me. And now we're going to go on to the rune that kind of cements it, you know, just that last final little message. So I got these at Christmas. I used to look at a daily rune every single day when I first got my private PC in '97. And so I always said, I got to get really good at this. There were a couple of really good readers that are no longer on YouTube. So I have my homework ahead of me, but that's okay. Right now, I don't have it by heart. So what I do is I pick this one that I just picked, and I look at it, and it looks like a check mark to me. So, and I will show you. And these are amethyst, which is very beautiful stone for warding away, you know, toxic energies and bringing that healing in and surrounding ourselves with that. And doing that little ritual every chance we get. If we're feeling less than secure, if we're feeling not our 100% self, these things can really make a difference. But on the back, the check mark is, where is, oh, it's not actually a check mark, it's Laguz. L-A-G-U-Z, and forgive me if I'm butchering that. So it's actually this way, just the opposite direction, and I'm going to look up and see what the meaning is for you. Just to kind of, you know, the cherry on the sundae, if you will, of your reading. Laguz, where are you, Laguz? What does it say, the number? It does, 25. I could always go by that too. And you have... No. Oh, yeah. April 14th through May. Isn't that crazy? It's coming up. Oh, my gosh. Response. You're not even going to believe this. Balance, introspective, subconscious, medicine, healing. I mentioned getting in touch with somebody to help you if there's something that you're just not aware of, you're feeling less than in any way, and you know you need some advice, you're going to get that. Spiritual tribulations, tribulations, humiliation, and disagreement to be overcome. Yes. Well, that to me is just, it's just absolutely beautiful. And I can't really see it being any more synchronistic. I suppose it could be. But once again, I love the whole idea of the runes as yet another tool, another beautiful esoteric energy and divination that we can use, right? There's so many, but that's absolutely beautiful. So Sagittarius, I'm going to read the 2 oracles now for all of you out there and every single one of your relationships and connections. Because like I said, you're one of the most social signs in the zodiac. People just magnetize it. You magnetize people to you, I should say. You have that energy, and it's beautiful, and it's fun, and it's adventurous. And like I said, you are an independent soul. So you never want to try to snag a Sagittarius, right? You're going to do it in divine timing and in a timing that works, because it's never supposed to be like, oh, got to be committed, got to make it happen now. Not the best thing, right? It comes naturally, and it's justice. So this is the beautiful Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck by John Holland. I love it. I use it a lot. It has different segments. It has the Major Arcana, it has the chakra cards, and then the different elements as well. So for every single beautiful Sagittarians, I hope you're having a beautiful day, because it's gorgeous. And I'm sure you're not watching this right now. I mean, like, no, Actually, I think Sagittarius is the least watched of my videos. Well, I don't mind. I'm just being real. I get it, because you're like out doing stuff. You know, I don't even think you watch TV that much. My son is a Sag. No, no time for that. Confront. I've never picked this one. I'm still kind of a new deck. First of all, it's a major arcana. Secondly, there's a vision of a person who's looking in the mirror at himself. So the mirroring of what life is bringing to you, because what's ever in here and we're putting out there, whether we realize it or see it or not, it's an energy, is what we will get back. Or just genuinely facing ourselves and being real, truthful and real with ourselves. And then you have that newer moon. So between, once again, this full moon and the new moon, within 6 months, I think some really pertinent and important changes and self-revelations are coming to pass. Also, it's number 18, which is a 9. So that's the completion. And it's also very spiritually guided. It's a higher ascension number. And it's purple. Purple is about, you know, mastery, and it's the third eye. It's the, just the knowing, you know, that beautiful gift we have. Let me read to you what it says specifically, though, as well. As I said, I've never picked this card, which says something a lot to me as well. And I love it. 18. Okay, the words are fear, question, explore, courage, illusion, and clarity. Boy, that's a bunch of oxymorons, yeah? Just one to the other. Just what? Confusion, clarity, illusion, clarity. I don't know, but I know that we still have and will for years the planet of illusion and mystery and secrets in the underworld, Neptune, right? They're very creative, but very, very, yeah, kind of almost deceptive at times. We think we see things in one way, but that's not really what's happening kind of energy. Well, it's forward. It's, you know, it's not in retrograde, which tends to happen that more when that's happening. Because it's forward, it does speak to our creative energies and juices and wanting to really be just aware, you know, and to face what we need to face. So introspection and clarity are important at this time. Feelings that have lain dormant are now coming to the surface. They have been part of your subconscious for some time. They're referred to as your shadow self and represent all your fears and delusions regarding matters of the heart. You may have concerns about examining these issues, but know that when an issue rises to the surface, it's ready to be faced and healed. And what does the full moon do? Exactly that. It brings a spotlight on things that aren't necessarily 100%, and the ones that are, it's magnificent. But it's helpful because it lets us be very brutally honest, like I said, and introspective, which is exactly what the moon is. Our moon sign is all about our feelings and our emotions and the deepest part of us, our soul, right? Have the courage to acknowledge and confront these newly emerging feelings. Look at them from all sides, like a Libra would, right? And try to determine where they first came from, when and how they were planted in your subconscious. Question the validity of these feelings. Often these were based on your childhood imagination and no more than illusions. They're not appropriate for your adult relationships, yet they persist. They're not based on reality, but they're powerful influences and can affect your relationships in major ways. They can help prevent a romantic relationship from manifesting. Have the courage to explore your beliefs and misconceptions about love. You may find that these emerging feelings are based not only on your limited perceptions, but also on what you actually saw or experienced as a child. And that's always so true. Know that whatever your reality was then is not what your reality is now. The affirmation is, I examine my feelings about relationships and release what is no longer my truth. And that's what Sagittarius is. It's seeking truth. I said that from the beginning. Sometimes these are times, you know, there are times when we really, and I mean, you're a happy-go-lucky kind of, I'm going to make things work regardless, Sagittarius, but you also have this very pensive, you know, side where you really do want to just certainly be as real and as authentic, like I said, but to really get into the deepest part that we all have to do, you know, ever so often in our lifetimes. only to become a better person and to clear it out. I love that for you. I love that card a lot. I hope you understand that and it feels good to you as well. I'm going to be reading you now the Super Attractor Manifestation message, which I love. It's my OG deck, as I say, and it is about manifesting the exact life that you want because you can, and because the law of attraction says so. You need to simply be congruent with your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your, I would say, physical. It's all one beautiful holistic thing that happens, but it has to be all in line. Like attracts like. So you can't be wanting something but thinking, I don't know. You know, it has to be all on the same page, as it were. So your beautiful message for today. Wanting more for others puts me into an energy of abundance. And that sounds so much like Sagittarius. You're very generous, wonderful people. You really are. You like to spread happiness and good news and fun, and you're generous in all the beautiful things that people love and that abundance can bring, you know. So there you are. There's the world. There's the stars. There's your hands, you know, just holding on. You got the world in your hands because you can make your life whatever you want it to be. You can bring in whoever you want. And I want that for you. So enjoy this incredible day and the rest of the month, what's left of it. And don't be a stranger. If you did like it, like I said, let me know. Always comment. I love it. And I just appreciate your support. So until next time, take good care. Thank you. And bye for now.